the charts here. Let's take a look at these fun charts. Basically what you have is you have a macro pattern, and I'll do a little bit of teaching for everyone out there. So a macro pattern is basically the bigger pattern, and then you have a micro pattern, which is the pattern inside of the bigger pattern. And what you can see here is basically we have, let me get my trend lines up here. You basically have the bigger pattern. This is your bigger pattern down here, and then sideways, right? This is in spirit of what we would refer to as a bearish pattern, in spirit of bear flag. And we've now broken down again, and now you're forming a new bear flag in spirit of bear flag pattern, right? So you got a bear, a macro bear with a micro bear. So you have two bears, which is never a good thing, right? So that's a little bit scary. But what I said before is that short term, I'm a little bit bullish, and this is getting a little bit more wacky. But look at this green candle here, and then look at this mini micro. And this is getting weird, right, Frankie? So you have a macro pattern, you have a micro pattern, and then inside of the micro pattern, you have this mini micro, which is a little bit of bull, right? So you have the up move and then the sideways consolidation. So what this tells me is that the market's anticipating maybe a quick move up, but then the bigger micro pattern and the macro pattern will likely take it back down. So I guess to summarize this, you'd look for a very short term, maybe a next couple days bounce in crypto, maybe if we're lucky back to this trend line that was broken. So this would be kind of a retrace to the breakdown line right here. And then I think we roll over and the resumption of the bearish pattern takes us down to here, which is the 2017 level. And then ultimately, I honestly am still in the camp that we're still headed even lower, probably 12, 13,000 at minimum on Bitcoin. And just to be clear, that's kind of my best case scenario is 12 to 13,000. My worst case would be like 3,500 or so. So hopefully it's the best case, but again, as a trader, we always have to prepare for the best and the worst case. You just can't kind of stick your head in the sand and say, oh, I'm only going to believe in the best case. As a trader, you have to mitigate risk, so you have to prepare for the potential for the worst case. 10,000 would be very good in terms of washing out a lot of the weaker hands. So for instance, I think there's a lot of investors, and if you look at Bitcoin right now, we just went from 69,000 to 17.5. And I still didn't get the sense, and you might agree with this, I don't know, but I didn't get the sense that people were like giving up on Bitcoin, right? And in a bear market, that's the kicker, right? If you go back to 2009 when the stock market bottomed at like 6,600 on the S&P or whatever it was like people just didn't even open up their portfolios anymore. They were like, I'm not even going near stocks anymore. But you don't have that in crypto yet, which to me says you got to go lower in this bear market if it's a true bear market. And so I'm in the camp that 12, 13,000 is the high end target, but in all fairness, it's very likely that the powers that be, the psychological breaking point is probably that 10,000 level. So I would say that you probably have to go even below that to really flush out all of the weaker hands before you get that final bottom being put in. And I would just point to this is that I think we could agree that the crypto market in the last 12, 18 months, very similar to the dot-com bubble, if people read up on the dot-com bubble. And remember, Amazon lost 95% of its value. It went from, I think at the time, $115 to like $6.50. And then it went to $3,500. Like think about from $6 to $3,500, what type of X that is. That's like hundreds of, 100X or whatever it is. Yeah. So you have to think that, Bitcoin could easily go down 95%. And then it could go up the same amount as Amazon if it proves itself to be that digital gold. So for me, I wouldn't give up on it myself. I still think that the fiat currency issue is not going away. The Fed right now is putting up that strong front. Oh, we're going to stop printing. Well, yeah, it's easy for them to say that when unemployment is like 3-4%, right? But ask me this, when unemployment goes to 10 or 15%, are they still going to be like, no, we're not going to print? They're going to print again. Come on. So I think that's the kicker is that you just look at that aspect. And I think you have enough big money starting, like there's big names that are investing in Bitcoin to the point where I really do think there is a future for Bitcoin, even if it gets flushed out. And honestly, the key for investors is to just remember it should just be a portion of your asset allocation. It shouldn't be everything. You never want to have all your eggs in one basket. I know you preach this, but you should have your stock portfolio, your crypto portfolio, your real estate portfolio, your this, your that, your gold. And this way, if by chance it does end up being worthless, it sucks, but it shouldn't break you.
That's it for today, guys. If you found this video useful, then don't forget to like the video and share this knowledge with your friends and family. And don't forget to check out the full video, link is in the description. Thank you.